Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for group chat. And the crowd goes wild. We are recording today's episode on a handy recorder. So if you're hearing this, that's good.
It's a good sign.
Yep. So we had some technical difficulties, but hopefully the quality is all right and everyone is locked in. But it's a new week. And we have a hell of an episode.
A hell of an episode. A lot of really good content. We obviously have to start with, breaking news in popular culture.
Yep.
That's as big as it gets.
Say it on three. 1, 2, 3. Tom
Skeet
Brady.
Davidson.
Oh. Well, okay.
We live in different worlds now.
We have two things to talk about.
Drama's a country club guy now. He doesn't even know what's going on in rap.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to hear what's going on in the hip hop world.
Yeah. Hippity hop.
Yeah, we got a lot. Some days you come in and you just get blessed with you don't got to dig very far. Yeah. Here's a lot of really good topics.
Yeah.
Today's one of those days.
And we have March Madness is now official. We have a bracket for all the Cathys.
Nice.
All of our social handles will have where you can enter. Pretty cool prizes. We're giving away some ledgers.
Love that.
Maybe throw some money in the ledgers.
Ooh.
Maybe an ETH.
Little ETH?
Yeah.
Well, you get an ETH. You get an ETH.
Now you get an ETH.
Okay, well, sign up because right now ETH is cheap, so we're not going to be handing them out for long.
Yeah. It might be half an ETH by the time we get it out.
You wait a week, you're not getting an ETH. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Hey, D.
Hey.
Happy Sunday.
Well, interesting. We had a little bit of technical difficulty to get today's podcast going.
Yeah.
And so we got to talk to, the young folks. The youth.
Yeah. They say the youth is always right or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
So Shay, who works with us, his knees banged up. Figure he got beat up. I don't know. Something like that.
Or something cool. Like maybe he was like, oh, I was out,
dirt bike riding
dirt bikes and tried to do a whip.
He tells us a story that he was hiking on Runyon Canyon. And
which, first of all, is the least,
manly
way to exercise.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I had my chai tea and I was hiking up Runyon.
Yeah, my matcha.
I had my matcha.
latte.
Some cha-cha matcha.
And he apparently, by the way, I've been hiking on Runyon Canyon for at least 20 years.
Yeah.
And he claims a snake lunged at him.
Real Bear Grylls over here.
White privilege. The snake had to go to the white guy.
White privilege.
And he had to dive, and his knees are ruined. And he claims
that's not even the best part.
He claims that he has incredible reflexes because of his coach.
Because his coach told him. Coach always told me.
Yeah. So we
inquired a little.
So we were like, oh, was the coach with you?
Like, what sport do you play?
And then it was like, no, it's from high school. And the drama asked, how old are you? He was 24. So basically 10 years ago.
At best 6 years ago. Literally, if it was the last day before he graduated.
Yeah,
and he said, hey, good luck out there. Take you and your good reflexes and go conquer the world. But roughly probably 8 years ago.
So that was the first thing, which was ridiculous in itself.
Yep.
Then he continues to talk. We're going to get into Pete Davidson, Kanye. But he starts talking about how his biggest inspiration in his life is MGK.
Yep. That's what keeps him going.
It keeps him going.
Yeah. He's like, whenever I wonder, if I've hit a wall or maybe I've peaked in life, MGK really lights the fire in my heart.
And by the way, MGK is our friend. We love him.
Great guy.
But interesting, inspirational choice.
Didn't know that'd be your choice. He said that he loved his haircut.
Yeah, he loved his haircut. That he used to have a receding hairline. Now he's a TikTok haircut. He has Megan Fox.
He's like, if anyone can have that great hair.
Songs,
yeah.
And he crushes it.
And so he feels like he's able to reinvent himself.
Yeah. The youth is interesting.
Yeah. That's why they're not keeping jobs.
Yeah.
They're like, well, Machine Gun Kelly didn't keep his job. He went from rapper to punk pop.
Punk.
I'm quitting my job. So just a little, guys, I mean, we just wanted to share a little bit of insight into the youth. I mean, we share a lot of like what's going on with,
Especially for the older people. Like, you
Yeah.
want to know what's going on in youth.
so if you want to go, yeah.
They're talking about Coach.
Talking about old Coach back in when you were a sophomore. They gave you one
Minnesota.
compliment.
Sophomore Minnesota.
God. And here you are on Runyon, like, oh, remember what Coach taught you. And then
Poor coaches, hopefully listen to the podcast being like, I don't know about that kid.
he's like, no, it's not how I remember it. And then so they're listening to Coach, and then MGK is the inspo.
And so he was highlighting how some of his people that he's inspired by are Travis Barker, MGK, and Pete Davidson. Skeet.
I mean, Skeet's my hero now.
Skeet.
Skeet literally went from me being like, what's going on here that Skeet's so poppin', to now I'm like, I'm Team Skeet.
So Skeet Davidson had a very interesting day today.
I mean, probably the best day of his life.
He texts Kanye West this morning
Yeah.
saying, hey, I don't know why you have to do all this stuff public. You're ruining your family relationship. Kim is one of the best mothers ever. Blah, 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 blah. Kanye replies and says, where are you now? Come to Sunday service. And Pete Davidson posts a selfie saying, I'm with your wife.
In bed.
In bed.
With your wife.
I'm in bed with your wife. And then they continue to go on, and Skeet makes very valid points saying, hey, let's just do it man to man. I'm at the BHH, which is the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah.
Great hotel.
Yeah.
It's known for their $55 McCarthy salad.
Yep. Lots of private meeting rooms and plenty
Yes.
of places to.
He said, come to my hotel room. Let's talk man to man. We don't need to do this publicly. You stop being a little internet bitch. And there's a lot more words. We're paraphrasing. Kanye posts all of this.
Why would Kanye post it?
He doesn't look good.
Because number one, he's saying, let's keep it off the internet, first of all.
Yeah.
And then, am I missing anything? Because I didn't see the actual post. Is there anywhere, like, was Kanye trying to say, like, he's bullying me? Like, look at how I'm being treated? Because to me, he just got roasted.
Yeah.
And posted it.
Yeah, and now he's posted other things. He posted a long video of how, like, he can't see his kids. He moved his Sunday service so that he could go to Saints soccer game. Blah, 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 blah.
So Skeet's king of the world.
Skeet's hot right now.
I'm just saying. I never thought Skeet would come out on top here, at least for the moment.
I had no hope for Pete Davidson out of this battle. And, I mean,
He's on top.
they got to just do a fight.
Yeah.
I
I'd be
mean,
down
what are
for
you
that.
talking about? This is just like what? If Pete Davidson fought Kanye West, what did that do? $10, $12 billion sales? Like, like who in the world is not watching this?
Literally
fight?
everyone on earth is watching it. And Kim, we were also told by the youth that Kim is an Instagram official
Yeah.
with Pete.
Yeah.
Because she posted a feed post.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal because apparently with the youth, they said there's a soft launch if
Yeah.
you post on story.
Yeah.
And then Instagram official is a feed post.
Yeah.
So that's like her 300 million followers or whatever.
Yeah.
Her and Skeet leads right into beef. I mean, Pete Davidson literally. This is the peak. This is the peak of the world.
What's funny is like at 3 p.m. today, I was driving by Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah.
On the way somewhere, and I was like,
Thought about stopping in.
I literally was like going to hang. Like, we just stop and see if they're there.
Imagine you pop in and Kanye and Pete are chopping it up in the lobby.
Polo Lounge.
Stop calling me Skeet, dude.
But what's interesting is you in your newly white privileged golf circle had no idea this was going on.
No idea,
You
'cause-
came in talking about you hear the big news, and I assume you're talking about Skeet and Kanye. You're talking about Tom Brady coming back.
Tom
to
Brady's
the-
back. Big talk at the country clubs. I didn't hear a peep. I didn't hear a peep about Kanye and
Pete
Pete.
Davidson.
Tom Brady's back.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Like it feels like that should almost be like, I heard that somebody, this could be country club gossip that's false. I heard somebody yesterday bought Tom Brady's
real.
final football for $500,000 from his final game.
Yes.
That's real.
Yes.
What happens to that guy? Or gal?
He's called the loser.
Oh. And that's how it happens, huh? Just like that.
Call coach.
Coach said I had good foresight. Coach always told me it's like I could see the future. Well, okay, so bad for that guy. But Tom Brady did like 2 weeks of like posting and like, thank you to the Patriots, thank you to the Buccaneers, thank you.
And he came back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What the funny thing about the internet is, basically said this guy was home for 2 months with his family and kids and said, fuck this. I'd rather get sacked by a 300-pound lineman than be at home.
I heard also other country club gossip that it was all a big elaborate maximum pay move.
Oh, huh?
That like they just offered him so much that he was like, okay. But that's also, that's through the lens of
a 60-year-old
country club
guy.
You got paid. Tom got paid the way he should. He's a good boy, that Tom. So I don't know.
A lot of coaches there.
But you think, yeah. Do you think, that's pretty insane to like, to not just say like, I don't know, I'm just going to think about it for a few months, but to post, do the whole thing, and then just change your mind?
Yeah, I'm sure it's a combination of like, so he was due a lot of money the day before he retired. There's a bunch of free agents for Tampa Bay can get started to re-sign on Monday.
Got it.
So I'm sure it's money related. I'm sure it's strategic related. I also believe like he probably went and had meetings with other teams. There was rumors that he was going to go to the Niners. So maybe he kind of like weighed his options.
Got it.
And the reality is the division he's in sucks. Yeah. So he could probably win easily for the next couple of years.
If he comes back now and wins the Super Bowl, it's insane.
It's pretty interesting because like LeBron also, who's like 37 years old, dropping 50, dropping 55, like crazy. Like
medicine.
These old
this
people.
Is the day, medical science is doing good. Yeah. That's my winner of the week.
Yeah, seriously.
Sheesh. Okay. Well, big episode for old people. Let's talk about some business. Rihanna's just, the best thing Rihanna ever did was stop making music.
Yeah.
She is just rolling in the bags. So she's went on to be like so incredibly successful with Fenty Beauty, Savage Fenty. It just feels like everything she touches. But those Fenty brands are really just beasts. Yeah. So much so that Savage X Fenty is thinking about IPOing, apparently. And the number that's being thrown around for the IPO is $3 billion.
So it's reported that Rihanna owns 30% ownership in Savage Fenty.
Not bad.
Not bad. They've raised money. They raised a few $100 million. If she goes public, they're thinking obviously they're thinking it's worth $3 billion. They also, she has her LVMH deal on the beauty side.
Yeah.
She had a high-end couture line that got shut down. It seems like she's like, and if IPO is what's happening, she's never putting out music ever again.
Why would you?
Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to tour?
Yeah, you're going to tour.
Right.
Yeah.
You tour like we tour.
Yeah.
One in West Hollywood, one in Santa Monica. Tour's over.
Tour's over. And we don't have a $3 billion IPO.
Yeah.
So can you imagine what she's thinking? She's like, yeah, I want to do 75 dates all over the world.
Hell
By the
no.
way, she's about to have a kid with Rocky. Like, there's no reason to ever want to put music out because it puts pressure on the rest of your life.
Why bother?
Yeah. Which is pretty amazing because, so Fenty, Savage Fenty, from what I remember, was a partnership with Textile Group, which also launched Fabletics. Yeah. Fabletics is also looking to go public. And they're crushing it too. So that company has just hit it out of the park.
So they're the real,
real winners.
Because I guess we don't know where the other 70% is, but a big chunk of it's probably there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 50-50 Rihanna Textile to start, and then investors have taken maybe 40%, and they each own 30-30.
That's wild.
But, Textile also owns Fabletics and Just Fab. And
think about the fact, this makes me really happy. The fact that, Rihanna and ASAP Rocky are going to be like a billionaire family.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I really feel like we live in the era for the first time where if you're a massive celebrity, there's a path to $1 billion.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, even Britney Spears, I feel like was maybe just a little early.
she was too early. Yeah.
You know, there's like this e-com age. Like, she did more, I'm guessing, probably like a lot of licensing deals, right? And like, you can stack up hundreds of M's, but you can really, there's a path to $1 billion if you're that influential.
Yeah, and and we're seeing it with like, I mean, pick a Kardashian or Jenner, all of them.
I mean, Kanye has to by now, net worth actually has to be over $1 billion.
For sure. Kim, yes.
Kim, Kylie,
Yeah.
Rihanna. Sure, there's others I'm not thinking of, but that's like a clear. There's a path.
Yeah.
I know there's other big ones I'm not thinking of. Like, who else has a big
Big business.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a path to it, and that's cool because that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you always hear. Look, sometimes the argument of like, oh, the artists don't make whatever. Sometimes that's valid that they don't, but like in cases like Rihanna or whatever, where like your name is being used to build.
Yeah.
These massive corporations.
And what's crazy is Rihanna doesn't like. She's not anywhere. Like
literally nowhere. Like the other day, she was late to a Dior show, and that was a lot of news.
Yeah, like she's not like she's sure she posts on Instagram, but she's not like posting on her Instagram stories what she's having for breakfast.
No.
No, she's pretty like old school in her celebrity.
Yeah.
Like she's a pretty private person. And, you know, you see her out and about and she's whatever, if you want to say she posts on Instagram, but like that's like it's a curated, it's not like super raw where it's like,
yeah,
you know.
She's not very accessible.
No. And so that's very antithesis of what's happening right now where everyone who's really popular is very accessible.
Yeah.
But Rihanna has just, in the old school way, she's just become like this insanely influential figure.
I also just feel like there's this move of, so like props to Rihanna and she deserves all that, but then there's also like what I'm personally really inspired by, because I'll never be Rihanna, unfortunately. Yeah. But what I'm really inspired by is
from Barbados.
Unfortunately, I don't have the same sort of general vibe. But there's these people creating really great brand, like Savage, Fenty crushed influencer marketing.
Yeah,
they do such a good job.
Yeah.
The same way Skims is like such a dope business.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Kim and I'm sure Rihanna are super involved, but like there's someone that really understands how to market and build a business.
Yeah.
It's not just like, hey, buy this from the celebrity, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Okay, well, props to all of them.
Yep.
Let's jump into NFT land. Bored Ape Yacht Club is just taking over the world. So like, you know, I think when the NFT craze really started popping off, there's Bored Ape, CryptoPunks, some of the even smaller ones. But those were like, I think Bored Ape and CryptoPunks were like the two really big names.
Yep.
It seems like Bored Ape is really kind of like pulling away as like just some really, really smart people really like owning a lot of the space.
What's interesting is the big announcement this week is the creator of Bored Ape is called Yuga Labs, and they just purchased CryptoPunks and MeBits.
What is MeBits? That's another like NFT project?
Yes.
Got it.
I have no idea what it is. I don't follow it, but I know that they bought it. And I'm curious to see, it's like, what did you actually buy?
Did you say youth? Did you say MeBits is a...
You know the youth knows what MeBits is?
Yeah.
Coach told you about it?
Coach, yeah.
Coach was like, he was like,
Coach, follow this MeBits. Your reactions.
Boom, MeBits.
Yeah, okay.
And so what's interesting, like, that kind of makes... I didn't know you could just acquire... I guess you're acquiring what? Like, the overall IP?
Yeah.
And if you own an ape... You have the commercial licensing rights to do whatever you want with that particular ape.
Oh, really?
So with CryptoPunk, you didn't have that. So now people think that's what's going to happen with CryptoPunks. They can license it because what's happening is Bored Ape, people that own apes are creating bands. There is a weed brand. There's a clothing brand. There's basically everything under the sun for Bored Ape yacht club right now. Because if you own an ape or two, you're creating a product, a brand, something around that.
And you're allowed.
You're allowed to.
And do you have to share any of that?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's just so chaotic. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But Bored Ape continues to be like one of the more popular NFT projects. What's interesting is Axie Infinity, the game out of the Philippines, is actually the biggest NFT project in the world.
Really?
Yeah. Billions of dollars. And that's really because it's a play to earn game.
Yeah.
And you earn NFTs by playing. Eventually, people think Bored Ape Yacht Club will launch a token. Mm-hmm. And then they'll also launch a play to earn game.
Wow.
And so if you do that, then maybe it becomes even more of a valuable property.
Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know, whoever those guys are, like they might be on a different level.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, is it just the perfect timing that Bored Ape became the thing?
Yeah.
It felt unique when it came out, but I don't know why they were the ones that won.
I'm sure
versus
there's a lot
the million
of luck.
other ones that came out.
I'm sure there's a lot of luck involved, but it's more like that they're now gathering them all up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just seems like
Consolidating power.
who knows long term if these things really work, but if they do, these guys are going to own a lot of land
Yeah.
in the metaverse.
Wherever that is.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay, well, good for them. That's massive. I mean, I do feel like Bored Ape and CryptoPunks are already like sort of a household, like pop culture brand name, you know?
That's fair.
That happened really quickly. Okay, we have a thing on here. This LA restaurant is Yelp's most reviewed restaurant ever.
Ever.
So this is the most reviewed restaurant on all of Yelp, and it's in LA.
17,000 reviews plus.
What's average? A few thousand?
I don't know, 5.
Yeah. This place is shit. Give me food poisoning.
It's like the brother-in-law of the founder.
For real, the ex-wife. Fuck this place. Okay. You know what it is?
I mean, I obviously looked at this. As soon as I saw the headline, I was extremely curious.
You know what my guess is?
What is it?
I thought hard about this one.
Okay.
Pink's Hot Dogs.
Interesting you say that. That is number 30 on the most reviewed
30?
list. Yeah.
Well, at least I was in the game.
But that's not 30 in LA. That's 30 in the country.
Okay, so I'm good. But 30, then what's number one?
Number 1 is Bottega Louie.
In downtown?
They have a downtown location, and they have now a West Hollywood location on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Is that like a marketing? Did they do something on purpose?
I have to believe they went with the intention of getting Yelp reviews.
Because Bottega Louie is good, and it's a great restaurant. But I just don't understand what would inspire.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember going to Bottega Louie the week it opened. God knows whenever it opened, years ago, 10 years ago, however old it is.
I feel like we used to go there like when The Office was down there.
Yeah, and I cannot believe that's the number 1 Yelped restaurant in America.
They must have done a thing. They must have done
Yeah.
like a marketing thing.
Yeah. I mean, number 2, we'll just go through the top 5. Number 2 is Phil's Barbecue in San Diego. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Founding Farmers in Washington, D.C. Obviously, never heard of that.
Sounds terrible.
Katz Deli in New York City. I've been there.
Okay, support it.
I don't even know how to pronounce this buffet in Las Vegas. Bacchanal, I don't know.
A buffet in Vegas?
Yeah, I have no idea what this is.
Are those bad reviews? Food poisoning reviews?
I mean, and then in LA, it's like Perch in downtown, which I've been like.
I've never been there actually.
I actually literally went there 2 weeks ago for the first time.
It's pretty reviewable, right? Because it's like kind of dope and vibey, or no? Is it on the top of a building?
I think because it's very easily accessible for anyone to get a reservation.
Oh. No.
It's very GP.
Little shade in there. I thought it was like exclusive.
It does not. I mean, I'll tell you how exclusive it is. This is a bad sign for a restaurant.
Okay.
Walked in there, went up the elevator to the top, was me going to a private event, literally a dinner for 20 people.
You were.
Yes,
Yeah.
in a private room.
Yeah.
They're like, you got to remove your hat.
Okay.
If you have to remove your hat anywhere in LA,
Yeah.
it's a terrible fucking place.
But why? So I agree with you.
Because like you Spago, Mr. Chow's.
No, I know. But why is that? Why?
Because they're probably attracting. They think that people that wear hats
Are gangbangers?
are gangbangers.
You do have that upside down LA. You look like a crip.
Gangbanger. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. I couldn't even wrap my head around it because I haven't been asked to take off my hat in so long at a restaurant.
I couldn't believe it. And then some random white guy got to walk in with his hat. So I walked back to the front and I was like, because he took my hat. It's
What's
not
up
even
with
I
the
got
white
to keep
privilege?
it.
They held it.
They held it. I had to take a ticket like I was holding a thing.
Maybe that's what all the reviews are. 20,000 people.
20,000 people like, fuck you,
Where's
taking
my hat?
Yeah.
Still looking for my hat.
I'm just like, I mean, come on.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. That is a strange.
It's an interesting list of restaurants that are the most reviewed. I guess it's a function of like, I don't know.
People got to be doing promos. There's got to be like a leave a Yelp review, get a coupon or something. Get a discount.
Yeah, like Leonard's Bakery in Honolulu. I've been there. That's good. Ping's Hot Dog, cool. Howlin' Ray's, number 34.
Huh.
Bestia, I've been there.
I mean, people are culty about Holland Rays. Yeah.
Like Nacho Daddy in Las Vegas. There's a place called Nacho.
I mean, it sounds probably incredible.
Sounds like our type of restaurant.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Well, good for them. I mean, look,
Number 46 is the Griddle Cafe in Los Angeles. It doesn't exist.
it's gone. Did it close during COVID?
Yeah, and it never reopened. I mean, I live near it. I know where it is.
How is that possible? That place was just like lying. I mean, I know COVID obviously was a killer, but like, what'd you do with all the cash? The place was lying every day.
They actually had a pop-up location at Yamashiro, which is the top of like near Hollywood Bowl, like literally the top of
Like above Magic Castle?
above Magic Castle. What street is that?
I don't know. But after COVID?
During COVID, they had like a pop-up there on the weekends.
That's expensive real estate, though. Yeah. I mean, they were in a good spot
Yeah.
on Sunset. But that place was literally a line every day.
Every morning we would go. It was so funny. My kids would be like, "What is that line?" I'm like, "They're literally eating pancakes. We just made pancakes at home."
People love lines. We've talked about it. All right. Okay. Well, props to Bottega Louis.
Yeah.
It makes me. I'll be honest. The marketing's kind of working because it makes me want to go back. Like I just want to understand what I forgot.
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really feel like going downtown. Okay. How about this story? I didn't know this. So the other day I was on. I was driving down the road. I saw a billboard for Seeing Red. Is it Seeing Red?
Turning Red.
Turning Red, which is the new Pixar movie. And so, I'm a big fan. I like Pixar movies. And so, I went home. I went on Disney Plus. I looked at it. Look, it just didn't. I don't know. Maybe I've just gotten older since my last Pixar movie. It just seemed very, very young, and I didn't end up watching it. But it turns out that the director of this new Pixar film, 11 years ago, started at Pixar as an intern.
Yeah, which is crazy. And she is now 32 years old.
That's so young.
And she directed a huge movie.
I mean, 21 years old, you start at Pixar, and at 32, you're directing your own movie. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, her name is, I think, Domee Shi or Domee Shi. I'm not too sure how you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
But first a woman to solo direct a feature at Pixar. And she's only 32 years old. That just, like, people doubt the internship.
Yeah.
Like, if you actually, most interns go and just, like, fuck around.
I mean, we talked about it. People don't even keep jobs.
Yeah.
You go fuck around and then leave. You're like, yo,
Kim
what's up?
Kardashian got heat because she said in an interview, like, basically, like, go to work and shut the fuck up. Like, don't keep complaining.
Yeah.
And people have been outraged. And then they want to show memes of her, like, privilege. She blah, blah. I got to experience a little bit of the Kardashian Jenner world. Those women work their ass off.
Yeah.
They're not sitting around like, just like, oh, Netflix and chill.
I just don't understand. Okay, so let's keep this one off TikTok, right? Because I don't want to get ripped because it's so crazy. But I don't understand. It just feels to me like on one hand, we we want to celebrate women and women being able to like work just as hard as men and deserve all the same things, but it's almost like, but not those women.
No,
not those women. Like
not Kardashians.
Pick a different woman, you know. And it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like, okay, maybe I'm just missing something. But when I watched that clip, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like they work their fucking ass off.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Built an empire. And like, look, guys, she didn't put out a sex tape and then get handed $1 billion fucking dollars.
No.
And
you know how many people have had sex tapes that have amounted to nothing?
I mean, everyone now.
Yes.
It's just literally OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But yes, that have amounted to nothing. And like, they've had such a long run now.
Yes.
They've built billions of dollars. Also, like, I get that she started well off, I would say. But she didn't start anywhere near where they are now.
No, like people, and unfortunately, people, if you don't have contacts, like being like upper middle class, kind of wealthy in Calabasas does not make you a billionaire. When I grew up, Calabasas was not what it is today.
Yeah.
You had a little bit of money. You were the doctor.
Yeah.
You were the lawyer, which is what our father was.
I mean, what, they had successful lawyer money.
Yes, and they went to like decent private schools and blah, 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 and lived a good life. They were not worth, like her father was not as wealthy as any of their kids.
Not even close.
No.
Like Robert Kardashian
maybe.
probably has triple what the dad had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're talking about Kylie's a billionaire, Kim's a billionaire. These people, I mean, like.
Yeah, I just don't get it. And look, I come from Ohio public school world where you have every reason to be like, well, you can LA private school. I get that, but like the jump that they made was so big. And I think the lesson is like, it doesn't matter if your goal is to get to making $250,000 a year, or maybe you want to become a millionaire, make $1 million or $2. It's your own jump, but their jump is pretty fucking.
Their jump was to billions.
Yeah, and like you gotta like.
Yeah.
Are you saying none of that's hard work?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I said, I know there's a lot of people who would probably rip me to shreds for that, but the way that she got like, it seemed almost like unanimous. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You got handed everything.
That's why, like, when you talk about people who want, like, equality.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Kim Kardashian does a lot for equality. Like, her presence is inspiring to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not just women, men, women, anybody.
Yeah.
And so, like, why don't you want to celebrate her success?
Yeah.
And she's actually trying to do good with her name. It's not like she's out here, like.
She's fucking passing the bar and shit.
She's like getting prisoners
like
released.
Literally, what do you want?
Yeah.
She's literally getting wrongly incarcerated people out of jail, going and doing it the right way and getting her law degree.
Yeah.
And has become a billionaire in the meantime. And you're like, yeah, it's because Ray J fucked you.
Her, yeah.
Like, what? And like, I don't know.
Can I tell you how many people Ray J fucked?
Yeah, where are they?
Okay, I grew up in LA. I saw Ray J everywhere.
They're not on the Forbes list.
No, how many? If every person Ray J fucked was a billionaire, then I'd be like, all right, it's Ray J. But it's not. He's
Imagine like Bel Air is just like all Kim Kardashians.
Yeah,
the girls Ray J fucked.
Yeah.
The golden penis.
It's like thousands of women this guy has fucked.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, I have a hard time when it's like, we want to empower women, we want to do this, we want to do that, but not that.
Yeah.
We only want it under a very strict, like, oh,
that guideline's fine.
We'll get behind that.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
But whatever. Like I said, I don't even want to put that out like on social clip because I just realized this is just one that I see differently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because then young people will be like, she's rich, she blah 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 blah.
I mean, she got ripped, and I had trouble finding. But what's the harmful subtext? I mean, is there any article? Is there any like one thing I saw was like, oh, she pays, like the brands have paid people shitty. Like Skims has paid content creators $150 for what? Like they've paid people shitty. Like, is that the diss?
Okay, so that's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
You accepted it.
Yeah,
I
agree.
You know it's a big look to work for Skims.
Is there anything I'm missing? Is there any angle that makes sense?
I don't think there's any angle to me that makes sense. I mean, you can find and rip everything she does, but like, she's just too famous, too successful. She's good looking and drives people crazy.
Yeah,
that's the reality.
I just feel like up until about like season.
And by
3
the
or
way,
4,
like she's not like out here like, oh, I gotta go date like I don't know Leo. She's dating Pete Davidson.
yeah.
She's a good person.
She's helping
What
the
was
less
it?
fortunate.
In Curb Your Enthusiasm, man of integrity. She's a woman of integrity.
Yeah, she is. She is, man.
She's not even about like, oh, the guy has to look a certain way.
Yeah.
The guy's kind of funny.
That's all it takes. Everyone has a chance. He's giving the youth hope.
Yes, I mean,
she's giving the youth hope.
Like, I mean, seriously, like she's Kim Kardashian. She's not a normal human being.
Yeah, I just wonder at what point, like, you just got to like be like, all right, yeah, good
for you,
work.
Kim.
Yeah, good for you. Anyway, all right, moving on. So seems a little sketch with China.
Yeah.
Things do. We are, we're in a business where obviously, like, shipping schedules and all that stuff is very, very important. And there's a lot that the country in general just relies on for China. China is, for those of you who don't know, is attempting to essentially get to COVID zero. Like we're taking this, we've now thankfully taken the approach of like, all right, let's pretty much relax all regulations. We're just going to deal with COVID. China has never done that. And their strategy is the opposite, which is let's completely get it to zero. And so they're like, their COVID cases are surging a little bit, and they're completely, in parts of China, going back into lockdowns, going under very strict guidelines like they were 2 yeyears ago. Yeah,
they're seeing cases and hospitalizations very similar to 2 years ago. And apparently, it's information from China is so hard to like verify.
Yeah.
But they're saying that Shanghai is in virtual lockdown again. Shenzhen also locked down, and schools closed. Hospitals are getting busier. That they are going back to where they were 2 years ago. And that some new variant is causing,
Oh, they have their own new variant.
And the thing is like, I don't think Chinese citizens, I could be wrong from what I've heard, is that I don't believe their vaccination rate is even as high as they would hope.
Yeah.
And I think the big challenge for them is with this zero mentality and their aggressive testing, like, here's the reality. I'm sure right now people have COVID in America. No one is fucking getting tested.
Yeah.
Zero. I mean, like, I don't even know how Barack Obama tested positive today.
Oh, he did?
He just announced he tested positive. He's like, yeah, I had a scratchy throat. I got tested. Like,
I bet you in those circles they're still testing.
Yeah, like if I had a scratchy throat and I was coughing,
no chance.
No fucking chance I'm testing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would have to be high fever for 3 days.
I think at this point you'd have to be like alarmed that it's either that or something else serious.
Yeah.
Right? You'd have to be like, what is this?
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're kind of, the American approach is basically, we're done with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I mean, like, the joke, everyone is like, yeah, Russia-Ukraine war, COVID's over. Like, basically, it's over as far as America's concerned.
Yeah.
But in China, I'm trying to think, like, is it a ploy by the government to keep the people scared and locked down and not worried about other things like inflation and slow down the economy and just say we're scared, we're screwed. Like, because by the way, if you are scared of COVID, you're not worried about inflation. You're not worried about why your job is, not as busy as it used to be.
Yeah, we got out of COVID and we're like, oh, all this shit's wrong?
Yeah.
I'd rather just go back to only worrying about COVID.
COVID, yeah, exactly. So I have a hard time believing that like COVID is ravaging through China.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that I think in China that the best narrative is let's keep scaring the people.
Yeah.
And and by the way, this cannot go on TikTok.
yeah. It'd get pulled off anyway. I also wonder, do you think, like, when you see, if it's true that the reason Vladimir Putin has all these long ass tables in these weird rooms is because he's scared of COVID, like, what if the leaders are just oddly scared?
Pussies.
That's the word.
Yeah.
And they're just, you're you're just like the freaked out like Karen down the street, except for you're like the leader of the country and you're able to just do ridiculous things.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like here our people, their voice actually matters, and it's at least to some degree, and it's taken like some pretty high level of outrage to even start to release. I mean, how long did we have masks everywhere in LA? It was literally up until like last week.
Yeah.
And it takes everyone being like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
For them to cave because they don't want their voters to turn. In China, they don't give a fuck. So
Yeah.
if that's just your instinct, like COVID's scary,
Yeah.
you just run your, I mean, they love that power, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating to see what's happening. And I think people are like thinking, I saw like a tweet storm from people like, oh my God, I'm sick to my stomach. We're gonna all like, yo, bro, no one's gonna do shit.
Because what? New variant? That's what they're saying?
Yeah, like you could have 400 variants tomorrow. It doesn't matter.
I don't think it
we
matters.
as a country, like, and I would say majority is 51%.
Yeah.
So 51% of this country, no matter what, does not give a fuck.
At least.
Yeah. And I would probably.
You'd have to literally be dropping dead in the street.
Yeah, like every
Even
other
then,
person.
they might step over.
Yeah.
I think we talked about
I
that.
ain't wearing a mask.
Like, shit.
Yeah. And I think that, like, we can't keep scaring people over something until you have data.
Yeah.
Like, look, the other thing is if we as Americans are truly scared, shut the fucking borders down again.
Yeah.
If you're actually scared, I met with someone last week who came from China.
Yeah.
He wasn't a Chinese citizen, but he lives in China.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I came to visit my family, whatever. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's so loose.
And he's like, yeah, when he goes back, he has to quarantine 28 days. He lives in Guangzhou.
28 days.
28 days. He's like literally in a prison cell for 28 days. So he's like,
So does he just come here, like do business, like soak it up, and then
yeah, so
then
he
go
goes, he's a manufacturer. He meets with people all over the world.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fuck it, I got to go
Gotta do
home.
my bid.
Like he's got wife, kids that live in LA and they also all live in Guangzhou. And then when this happened, his wife and kids came here.
Got it.
But he had to hold down the business. So
Yeah.
he stayed there and he's like, dude, it's gnarly. Like, I'm not trying to go back.
That's crazy. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, but I'm not too concerned. Hopefully that ages well.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, you want to talk about some Russia-Ukraine stuff?
Russia.
So we're still cranking. You're unfortunately, this is one of your predictions I was really rallying behind. We're still cranking, which is insane. But quick check-in on one thing that we talked about last week was Roman Abramovich, the oligarch owner of the Chelsea football team, and how he had been sort of, he was saying he was going to sell his portion of the team and he was going to donate the funds and he was going to be kept out of the UK. And what's going on with that?
Basically, like, so this guy Joe Pompliano did a whole Twitter thread that's actually quite fascinating. Basically outlining Roman Abramovich's relationship to Vladimir Putin, and he was saying that he helped Vladimir Putin come into power.
Roman did.
Yes, like when Boris Yeltsin was leaving office, he recommended Vladimir Putin to become, the next leader of the country. And
So go talk to your boy.
And so basically has like insane influence with Putin. And so Putin rewarded with him, giving him the oil company and the aluminum company, and basically tax shelters, made him like tens of billions of dollars. It said that Roman Abramovich gave Putin a $50 million yacht, and like just like they're like chummy chum, and they've made tons and tons of money together. And he's the one that owns Chelsea, that now UK is saying, you can't make money selling this team. Like we have sanctions against you. And so the team itself has sanctions. So they can continue to play. They can receive broadcast money, allow season ticket holders to attend games. They can't get new players, can't agree to new contracts, sell new tickets for games, sell club shop merchandise, or even sell the club. And the proceeds cannot go to Roman Abramovich in any way if he sells the team. So quite interesting to see because it's such a big club and how important it is to soccer and just the global kind of. It's crazy. Like they're actually going after all these Russian oligarchs.
It's a really interesting strategy, and I feel like they're like doing a really good squeeze.
Because at the end of the day, I think they realize like these people are all they care about is their wealth.
Yeah.
Like you start taking it away, then
Someone's got to talk to him.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance someone assassinates him?
I'm sure people are trying.
I mean, it just seems to me like, I don't know. This is just my complete impression of how that world works. It seems like it's all, you know,
It's
like
a coup any day.
it's very coolable.
Yeah.
You know, like it just feels like, I mean, Putin, you know, has notoriously killed or poisoned or whatever people against him. It just feels to me like someone in the circle would be like, you know what, man, enough's enough.
Yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like his inner circle, like, why do you want to see if you're actually a nationalistic, prideful person?
Yeah.
Why do you want to see your country struggle?
Yeah.
Russia is struggling. They're fucked.
Yeah. They have nothing.
They have nothing.
Like McDonald's left. The fuck? McDonald's is everywhere.
Yeah. And what's crazy is the more interesting thing is so the White House wanted to get ahead of misinformation.
Yeah.
And they had a call with TikTokers.
The White House
Yes.
had a call with TikTokers.
Yes. So
Like Addison Rae?
so White House basically reached out to TikTok influencers to help kind of make sure that like the narrative is right about the war and like what we're
That
talking.
feels sketchy. That feels very like
Yes, because
China-ish.
and what's interesting is that simultaneously Russian government and Ukrainian government have also reached out to influencers
their
on their
TikTokers.
behalf on and dude,
You got to hit up Rich from Fashion Nova, man. He'll have the narrative fucking checked out.
what do you guys want?
What do you want the narrative to be?
But like this is where we're at. This is like a Harvard professor is a director of research at Harvard. Literally says people are using TikTok to stay informed, and we know it because we see it with our own following and our own engagement. But like the fact that the White House is like reaching out to these people and saying like, "Hey, like, how do we make sure that the American creators are actually saying the right information?" Because that's what they're concerned about, misinformation.
But doesn't that feel sketchy? Doesn't that feel a little slippery slopey?
Yeah.
When you look at like, I mean, if you look at
I'll
some
tell
of
you
the
what really
white-
pisses me off. Why the fuck weren't we on the call?
I agree.
I mean,
And just for that, here's some fake news.
yeah. You know what? I don't know about Russia. Seems like a great place.
Everyone go visit. Yeah, I you know, like I don't want to go down the Joe Rogan path, but this is like a factual that like some of the, you know, like some of the initial statements were like, if you get vaccinated, you cannot get COVID.
Yeah.
Or if you get vaccinated, you cannot spread COVID. Those things were said.
This is what Joe Rogan was.
Well, he went deeper down the path, way deeper. But I'm just saying, like, people get it wrong. I'm not accusing them of like purposely misinforming. I'm saying that as things age, you get it wrong. What if they get on a call and say, "Yeah, here's what's really happening," and they're wrong?
I think the intention is right because governments are now realizing that. So you do the White House briefing. You have CNN, Fox News, Reuters, New York Times, Washington
Charlie
Post sitting
D'Amelio.
there.
You need Josh Richards.
Yeah, instead you really should be hosting a briefing at like Delilah and saying
For real.
Charlie D'Amelio, Josh Richards.
It's true.
No, is it Noah Beck? Is that
Noah
it?
Beck,
Noah
yeah.
Beck.
Yep. If you
okay.
added up those impressions, it shits on CNN.
And then Biden comes to Delilah and says, "Look,
guys.
okay, this is what's really happening here."
Come on, let me give you that. Let me give you this my security briefing today. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is the right thing.
Because like the reality is how many people watch CNN? 5 million? Maybe.
No, fuck no. You're way over. It's like the hundreds of thousands.
Like right now during the war, you don't think 5 million people watch it?
Maybe prime broadcast.
Okay,
during the
Tucker
war,
Carlson at the
2.5
peak is what?
million.
A $5-10 million.
He's high, I think.
Okay.
So. I think he's like 5.
But that's nothing to the country.
That's literally a semi-successful TikTok.
Yes.
One video.
One video.
Yeah, it's doing the right thing. It just feels I don't know. It feels sketchy to tell people the narrative. And so,
I don't think they're telling the narrative. I think they're telling them information.
Yeah.
To make sure. I'm sure in Russia it's like
that's what I'm saying. In Russia,
they're like
cleaning out the Nazis.
Natasha, this is what you're saying.
Yeah, here it is. We captured 5 Nazis today. The war is going great.
Young
Everyone's in great
Vlad, this is
spirit.
what you're saying.
Yeah. It's funny though because I don't trust anything from like these little social media clips, but it does seem like Russian soldiers are very just over it.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like I thought we were coming and clearing out Nazis. Like they don't. No. They told them apparently that the Ukrainians would be happy to see them.
Yeah.
Because they were coming to help.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they're launching missiles at us.
Yeah.
They're
And
not very
Russia
happy.
shut down Instagram tonight.
Yeah,
in the entire country.
Isn't it really nuts just for a second to think? It's kind of like who would have thought we'd have like a hot war this day and age? We do, but so much of it is social media and how to manage and like the perception on social media.
Yeah, it really is insane how like you're talking about on the precipice of like a major global catastrophe. And the White House has like fucking
you need a meme
Noah
maker.
back on the phone.
Yeah, literally.
Like Noah, we really need you to like tone down the narrative on the Russian.
Kyiv has not fallen. We need you, Noah. We need you to say that.
Next time you do that dance.
Yeah, give a little Ukrainian
What's a hot
shout
song
out.
on TikTok right now that I don't know?
Youth? I've been kind of out of the loop. I had to. MGK? I'm in love with an emo girl. That's the one that the Kardashian kids were dancing to the other day. Yeah. I don't know. I had to take a break.
From TikTok?
Well, once you get into like wartime, this gets really.
You're up all night worrying about the Ukrainians.
Yeah, you really find yourself like it's a lot of information, which is really cool that is on TikTok. But like, you can't be up late watching bombs drop, and you know what I mean. It's too crazy.
You're just on it for hours.
I will go on deep dives. Like sometimes I'll literally like clear like the space. Like it's a Saturday night. I got nothing to do,
And you're just like 2.5 hours.
I'm gonna break out TikTok and I'll do 2 hours. And then I feel like complete shit every time. So anyway, okay. Well, that's all we got. Anything we're missing?
No, that's it.
Any shout outs?
Nope.
Okay, good stuff. Well, we recorded this one last minute on a little handy recorder, so hopefully you guys are even hearing it.
If not, it's just 4 people heard it.
If not, we'll
The
post a
coach won't
tweet
even hear
tomorrow
it.
and say we didn't record today's episode. Shout out to Coach. This has to go out just so Coach can hear that.
What was your coach's name?
Isaiah Walford.
Coach Isaiah Walford.
Coach Walford. Your boy's still out here with those quick reflexes. He's putting them to work on his Hollywood-ass hikes. All right, there it is. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you Tuesday.